Hello. Hi, everybody. So we are live here in YouTube and Facebook and on LinkedIn. This is our weekly Mindset Over Mess conversation with Ilika Follett and Lauren LC. So we're coming in here to really kind of help you get over that mess, right? It's time to master the mindset to get over that mess. So we're in multiple spaces. So we're opening things up right now in our different spaces. Lauren is right now speaking in Clubhouse because we're also live in Clubhouse and we're waiting for people joining the room. But as you are popping on here on YouTube, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn, sorry, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, be sure to share this out because this conversation is a good one because it is time to get over that mess. So we're opening things up and we're about to start introducing ourselves in Clubhouse, but then I'll also be introducing here on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. Hello to everybody who's hopped in here. Comment, let us know where you're from. Let us know what you're chatting about. Hey, everybody. I can go ahead and introduce myself real quick. This is Ilika Follett, Coach Ilika. I am an international speaker, author, and body and business mindset mastery coach. I work with female entrepreneurs and executives, helping them to overcome that overwhelm, overwork, and being over the excess weight so that you can live more, work less, feel better, and generate more profit. So that's what we do. And this is all a part of it. Our mindset over mess that I'm collaborating with my friend Lauren LC, who is a powerhouse, and we are a powerhouse duo bringing you guys something new, something different. And it is just time to release the mess. And so today we are going to be talking about overcoming emotional eating. I'm going to pass it to Lauren so that Lauren can now so that Lauren can get in here and chat about introduce herself and start talking about her experience with emotional eating. And I'll talk about my experience with emotional eating right after. So go ahead, Lauren.
But I am Lauren LC, your favorite gut health bestie. I'm a certified digestive health coach, certified fitness trainer. I've been in the industry for 9 years, helping women who are high achieving, overachieving, hyperactive women that may have experienced burnout and helping them to have better gut health, balance their hormones, and align their energy. And I do that with food and doing chakra alignment. So I love helping women in this capacity and helping them to overcome things like stress, emotional eating, mindset. I'm a geek when it comes to neurolinguistic programming and mindset and speaking a particular way to be able to help you to overcome any challenges that you have where you feel undefeated and you are really going forward to your goals, what you want when in your health and your life. So I'm also the founder of Hervival, so I'm a wellness tribe builder. I created a community for women of color, for Black and Brown women, as a supportive space to help them, and created an app for that membership and community, which is an all-in-one health, wellness, fitness, and spirituality space to support women on their wellness and self-care journey. So I am super excited. I know a lot when it comes to emotional eating. Just to kind of give everyone a little backstory. As I was running my fitness company in New York City, my sister, who I lived with for 10 years, bakes cakes. So I literally lived in a house. I literally lived in a house where my house smelled like cookies, cakes, everything. And I didn't even realize I was having emotional eating. I didn't realize I was stressed and having stressful eating. So I'm excited to talk about this topic because I didn't realize it until it was like dead in front of me, because it's just like you don't realize it, right? It's just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna pick a little cookie up. These are some extra pieces that she didn't use. I'm gonna eat it. So I know a lot when it comes to overcoming emotional eating and having sugar cravings. If you are listening to this, whether you're here on Clubhouse, live on social media, if you have had a challenge where the sugar cravings come kicking at your mouth and your palate, or you have had struggles with emotional eating, we would love to know who can relate. So if that is you, put a me in the chat. If emotional eating cravings definitely is a challenge that either you overcome or you're currently struggling with, we would love to know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, exactly. Lauren, let me know if I'm still muffled here on Clubhouse. Can you hear me well? Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's
A
my
little bit
headphones.
muffled.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to swap up and get new headphones, but hopefully it's working
We
out
can hear
okay
you
right now.
though, but
So
it's just a
that is
little
it.
muffled.
What'd you say? Is it still messed up?
We can hear you, but it's slightly muffled.
Okay. Oh my goodness, that is annoying. Okay. But yeah, so that is it's so important. So when we're thinking about emotional eating, right? One thing that comes up a lot with emotional eating, I've had clients who said, I'm not an emotional eater. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm not an emotional eater. I'm not an emotional eater. Like I thought that so a little bit about me, about 7 years ago, or about 6 years ago, I lost 120 pounds in about a year's time. I'd been overweight my entire life. And I mean, the doctor said I came out 10 pounds, and that was more than my sisters or other babies that he'd seen. So I was already there. And so over that time, I continued to eat. And I didn't look at it as emotional eating because it wasn't like I ate when I was sad or stressed out. That wasn't how I emotionally ate. For me, it actually came when I was excited, joyful, right? And it was it's something that was taught. So when we were little, and we all know this in culture, in American culture especially, but even across the world, when we celebrate, what do we celebrate with? Food. We celebrate with food. It's like, oh, it's somebody's birthday. Let's go get pizza and cake and celebrate, right? Blow out the candles and let's slice that first cake. The birthday girl gets the biggest piece. I couldn't wait for a birthday because I wanted the biggest piece, right? And then the other piece is we eat when we're celebrating a wedding or even a funeral. What happens when someone passes away? Everyone brings food. When someone gets sick, everyone brings food. So what are we learning? We're learning that food is that support that we need to feel better. And so now, as we get older and move through life, we begin to look at food as the way of support. It becomes important. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm uh, I'm sad about a test I didn't pass. So the brain only recognizes that you're sad, whether you're sad about a funeral or sad that about a test you didn't pass. Now it's like, go eat something. And it begins to connect. And so when we're talking about emotional eating, emotions can be anything from boredom to joy to celebration to sadness to anger, you know, and it aligns with food. Oh gosh, I had a stressed out day at work. Let's go for happy hour. What we getting at happy hour? Nachos. We're getting nachos and we're getting something to
Hmm.
drink, right? So I mean, this is the way that stress eating comes up. And so as I've learned this, Lauren told me the other day, number one, that I often forget to give some of my credentials. She's like, Ilika, I didn't even know this about you. So I am a master practice certified NLP master practitioner, right? And one of the things that we do in NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, is we really understand and look at what's underneath it, right? What's happening? Where is this story coming from? Because once we can understand the underlying reason that we believe that I'm sad, so I should eat, or I'm excited, I'm happy, this is joyful moment, so I should eat. Once we get to that, we can release it, and we can overcome the emotional eating. So this is going to be the biggest piece: is how do you overcome emotional eating and overcome it for the long term, so that you get to have a fun, sustained, joyful, happy life while releasing the excess weight for good, releasing those excess connections to food, because food is fuel. It can
Hmm.
taste good, but it's fuel, and we tend to use it um, as comfort, and we get to
Yeah.
release that.
I love what you said there. Like, food is fuel. It's a part. Like someone was typing in the chat that they eat for every emotion, even when I'm scared. I'm like, oh, I feel that. Like, I realize certain patterns or things that we particularly do does inflict on the way we eat, habits, the way we think, right? Because we have to understand, and this is what I talk about when I help like my clients to understand the nature connection when it comes to our physical body, and then we have our energetic body, right? And they cross barriers and and emotions, feelings, environments really plays an impact on your behaviors, the food you eat. But we have to ask ourselves what serves us and don't serve us. And someone had put in the chat here on Clubhouse that said, food is the backbone of every culture. Though, so we just need to control the amount. I think our emotions of happiness resonates with certain smells, colors, textures, and trying to control that is torture. Yes, but when it is the mindset about it. So if we think that is torture, it's going to create the torturous circumstances to make that valid, right? So one, we have to be mindful of the way that we speak to ourselves, the way we look at particular things, and change the perspective around that. And those are going to be some of the methods that we talk about in the masterclass. And we're going to be using our signature MAN method to help to work with that. And as well, this is a live masterclass, so we'll be able to talk with the individuals one-on-one to really like work on to those concepts of how we look and think about certain things. So once we kind of gather and have an understanding of our habits, what we look at and the way we do, I'll take myself, for example. I had shared a little earlier for those who are just coming in that for 10 years, as I was a certified fitness trainer and moving over to be a nutrition and health coach, I lived with my sister who baked cakes. So, it was like a constant smell that was there all the time. And like Ilika said, I didn't have like where stuff was wrong, or I had times where I noticed that deaf in the family, I would eat particular things, but I wasn't like depressed or walking around upset. And then I had emotional eating. Emotions is all emotions. It's not just a sad thing. So I didn't realize when I'm excited or I'm kind of going, and just because certain things were always in my pattern and what I'm eating, I was eating these things. And then I looked around like, why am I increasing? Like my belts I gotta change my loops a little bit, or why am I gassy and bloated? And it started to be an unconscious thing that I didn't even realize I ate a whole cake top until my sister was like, you're eating my inventory now. Like, you have to make some shifts and some changes, because I don't know if you realize you came in here 3 times and you ate this, and it just started to become unconscious. So one is a matter of paying attention of our space and our environment, and kind of taking inventory and things of ourselves. And if you need support and help, of course, that's where you do. But it is important to dig. And sometimes we have unconscious emotion things. I didn't realize I was having codependency, particular circumstances where that affected in my eating and some type of habits and patterns with old ways. So like with the cake thing, that was a modern thing. Like I had a godmother that used to make cakes all the time, so I didn't know that sweetness activated that. So it's so many aspects that we have to kind of look into and pay attention. In order to overcome anything, it takes awareness. And we're just excited to share that. Those are some of the things within the 4 tools that we provide in this masterclass that's happening next week. We only have a few limited spots coming, so definitely check out that link, mindsetovermess.com, and learn about it. If this is something that you're looking to overcome, something that you're noticing you're having a mental block around, you have some unconscious things that you need to like tap into and work around, this is the masterclass that will be helpful. But like I said, between Ilika and I, we got over 15 years experience here, where we helped our clients to be able to overcome a lot of these adversities that got in the way. Because guess what? If we don't get over this mess, and I'm speaking to like my high achieving, professional, career driven entrepreneur women, one of the things that I realized, when I was having that unconscious cake habit, I literally always crashed. I was having these crashes that would just kick my butt. Like I literally would have to like run downstairs between clients in the locker room, just close my eyes, and I will oversleep with my next client, and then I lose a client. Like some of these things started to affect not only my health, but my wealth, because it was affecting my performance in the way I worked and the way I showed up. So it is important to overcome these things, because if we don't get over these aspects and the mess and what they coming from, it will affect us in our life, in our relationships, in our finances, our growth. And that's when I realized it was important for me to overcome. It's not to say we can't enjoy food, we can't enjoy the cultures of it, but what type? What are the type of ingredients? How can we enjoy it without it impacting your health, impacting you in a negative way that does not serve you? And I yield the mic.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? When we think about it, many times we look at, okay, I've overcome I've overcome this. I've lost some weight. So I've lost the weight and I feel good, or I'm healthier again. And so we are talking about releasing it for good. How do you master your mindset so that you get over this mess for good? It's impacting your business and your income, and it's impacting your health because it keeps going up and down. So when we talk about mindset over mess, I want to give you guys a synopsis of what mess is, because mess is an acronym, right? Notice we've got M.E.S.S, right? And let me see. Yeah. And so notice that we have that on there. And MESS stands for, because you got it, mindset over mess. MESS stands for moving from diet to diet. How many times have you moved from every different diet? Tried out this, tried out that. So, oh, I'm doing Nutrisystem this week. I'm doing, you know what? Nutrisystem doesn't work for me because I don't really like their food anymore. So let me go ahead and try keto. Oh, keto didn't work for me because I don't want to eat, I wanted to eat some carbs. So I can't do that. I'm going to be vegan. Oh, goodness. No, I can't stick to that. So let me try. And so you're moving from diet to diet. Then you're trying out this tea and this, everything, right? And it's like overall, you haven't stuck to anything. Like I have been there. This is how I know, right? I have been there. I did this for years and years. I was on a diet for 30 something years. And so this is the norm. This is what this diet culture brings us about, because we want to see that thing. We want it to happen. But what happens is you lose the weight on that moving from diet to diet, you lose some weight, and then you pick it back up, right? And then as you're going up and down, guess what it's affecting? Your health. So the M is for moving from diet to diet. The E is eating crap. So you're busy working all day and doing all the things that you're doing, and you're finding that as a part of staying energized, you start grabbing a snack. Let me just get some, I'll just have a couple chips in between. Let me get another bag. And so now you're eating your chips as you're working. Now this becomes a habit. This is now a part of that emotional eating. It's very normal to begin every time I go down to create a new program, or to, I'm working late. I've got to be doing this motion of picking up food and putting it in my mouth, food in my mouth, and you know, grabbing the chip like that every 7 second, like stimulus, right? That becomes a part of that emotion. And then so the M is moving from diet to diet. The E is eating crap because you're grabbing it on your way. The S is self sabotage. How many times have you been doing really well in something, whether it be your business or being your journey, your health and fitness journey, and all of a sudden it's like, uh, let me just stop at Cold Stone, or you know what? The kids have some leftover cake. I'm just going to eat that too, right? So it starts to get in your head, right? Because you haven't met, because the mindset, that's what becomes so important. So now you're self sabotaging because it's getting too good. And it's like, ooh, am I supposed to have this? Am I supposed to be in this space? I, I don't know if I'm comfortable not being on a diet because I've always been on one. That self sabotage begins to come up, whether that's your story or it's some other way that you're self sabotaging. It continues to come up because the weight keeps coming back and the health issues keep arising. And so now the other S, the second S, or the last S, stands for sacrificing health for weight loss. So what does that mean, right? I'm going to share this in a quick story. I have a client that came to me a few weeks ago, and she was, she wanted to lose some weight. I'm just desperate to lose weight. I'm so tired of carrying on this extra. And, I got to go on. I'm going on vacation. I'm tired of every time we go, all my friends look cute and I don't, or this is how she felt, right? And these are the words she's saying. These aren't my words. So she's like, I just got to get this weight off. So I was like, okay, well, let's talk about, what your goals are and what medications are you on? And she's like, well, I'm on metformin. And I was like, oh, you didn't mention that you had diabetes, because usually metformin is prescribed for diabetes. She's like, no, I don't have diabetes. My doctor prescribed it to me because it would help me lose some weight. And I said, what? So you're taking a diabetic medication for weight loss when you don't have diabetes? And so just thinking about that, the times that you've sacrificed your health for weight loss. I know I did it for years. I took Trim Spa, Zenodrin, there's something that starts with an F. I can't remember all the different diet pills and things that I tried over the years and how it impacted me, even to this day. how some of them ended up impacting me. So that's the second S is sacrificing health for weight loss. So when you get to master your mindset to get over that mess, it's time. It's time to get over that mess so you can sustain your results long term and feel good. And so that's what we are going to be talking about pretty in detail and in depth in our masterclass next week, where we are going to take you through our M.E.S.S methodology. I'm gonna let Lauren explain the M.E.S.S methodology, but we're gonna take you through our M.E.S.S methodology that's gonna allow you to release the weight for good, to improve the health for good, so it feels easy, it feels simple, and it feels normal and good. So then you get to master your mindset, and and you get, it's time to master your mindset so you can release that mess for good. All right, I'm gonna pass it over and yield the mic to Lauren.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I know that this is hitting. If this is really connecting with you of those individuals who are listening, and this is somebody that has that keeps kind of, I always say emotional eating, like I said, whether good emotions, bad emotions, especially if it's getting away from you living your best healthy life and wealthy as well, because health is wealth, as cliche it is. It's health is wealth in so many capacities, from how productive you are, the way you show up, your mindset, how well it stimulates you on an emotional standpoint, as well as your hormones. So if this is really connecting and making sense, we would love to know, put it in the chat if this makes sense. But as far as our M.E.S.S method, I get so excited when we talk about this. So people who have been listening to us have this, and we talk about the M.E.S.S method, you might see Ailika and I get all smiley and excited about it, because when we really put it together, it was like, oh my God, this is gold. Like, these are the two things that we have been able to put down in a 4-tool simple method that has helped both of our clients over the 15 years that we've been working professionally in this field. And it's helping. The M.E.S.S method actually helps you to unlock subconscious blocks that's getting in the way of obtaining the freedom in your health, in your wellness, and your business, your careers, to be able to flourish and grow. Because like I said, health is wealth. And if we don't feel good, we don't produce good, we're not productive. And we want to be able to provide tools that you can use to produce the profitable mindset that you need, so that way you can have the productive health goals and then work efficiently. So I'm not going to give away the M.E.S.S method. You definitely have to come to the masterclass to learn more and join us. It is next Tuesday, so definitely go to mindsetovermess.com to learn more and get registered. Okay, but it is a method that will help you to understand the actual mechanisms and the type of support that you need, the actionable steps to help you to unlock on a subconscious level, that can help you to overcome these things that keeps you stuck and impacted. Over the weeks, we talked about how, your health impacts your wealth, how releasing stress and how that can be able to help overcoming emotional eating. Next week, we will be discussing more when it comes to yo-yo diets and long-term lifestyle. But we're going to drop in more when it comes to the masterclass. So we want to share our M.E.S.S method really helps you to master, to live healthy, increase that productivity without the overwhelm and burnout that it takes, that sacrifices and sabotage your health. A lot of people, I know clients who I work with, they're always like, when they grow and they do all these things to make more money, sometimes they got to pull back because their health has took a hit, or they increased in their weight, or when it takes the time to launch and grow a business, they're stuck at a computer or sitting down and getting into the concepts of whatever it is, the content that it is to create this big project or whatever that they're working on. And then they come out and they end up getting sick, get COVID. That has happened so much, and any kind of virus or things like that. So we want to be able to give you tools that helps you to be able to produce and be effective in your health, wellness, and business without that overwhelm, without that burnout, without sabotaging and sacrificing your health in the long term, and still producing the results of you releasing the weight that you need to release, you having the energy that you need, not having the brain fog, and teach you and how and why to be able to apply these concepts to have sustainable results long term, and not for just sacrificial short term, just for this diet, you get to this goal and that's that. All right. So I'm going to give the mic there, but I always get excited talking about that M.E.S.S method.
Yes, exactly. And I loved how you highlighted you can do both. I think there is this sense of, and while I grow my business, oh my goodness, I'm growing, I'm growing, I'm growing, I'm doing all these things. And what tends to happen is the health is sacrificed, right? So now, as I grow the business, um, well, the first thing that goes away is, oh, I don't really have time to exercise. So now we don't exercise anymore. And then it's like, but I'm growing my business. Well, now I'm eating crap all day long because I don't have time to go and think about eating something healthy or even cooking something. Yeah, right. I mean, even DoorDash, you know what? I'm just gonna get the quick thing. I'm just gonna grab, Burger King from DoorDash. I don't have time for getting something even, on the healthier side. So it's like thinking about those things because your health and your wealth get to be together and they can be. Like one doesn't, it doesn't mean that, if my business is growing, I got to throw my health to the side. And this is what we're teaching in the mind and the in Mindset Over Mess Masterclass. We're really giving you the tools and the processes and resources to really be able to do both and, because both and is 100% possible. Meaning, there are ways to create a lifestyle, a schedule, all that, where you can still eat healthy, get your movement in, right? Have time for self care and be growing an amazing business. So, this is okay. And we want people to know that this is something that can be. We've been told and we've been taught for so long that you can only do one or the other. We've been taught for so long that if you're going to have a great business, then there's no way that you're going to be able to be healthy. Here's the thing. If you have a great business but you lost your health is not good, how are you going to be able to enjoy your business? I bet if you talk to someone like, I mean, if you could talk to someone like Steve Jobs, who built an amazing business, he would tell you he would rather have his health than Apple right now, because he'd be here, right? This is so important. And you can have both, but he, as well as so many others, have been taught it's one or the other. That's no longer a thing. We can have both. We can have an amazing business and we can be healthy, because prioritizing your health allows you to prioritize your wealth in the greatest way possible. And that is what we are going to go into detail on how to get there in our Mindset Over Mess. So I want to make sure that you guys see here on YouTube. Hello, everybody watching on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook, and everyone here in Clubhouse. You'll see we have the link here for our Mindset Over Mess. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, or LinkedIn, you'll see it in the description. Here on Clubhouse, you'll see it at the link at the top. But I'm going to put it also in the comment section on YouTube and Facebook, so you guys can go ahead and click that. Click the link and sign up for this masterclass, because it's a game changer. We're going to show you how to release that mess for good. All right, so we are going to close out here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, and we're going to continue forward on Clubhouse. So if you're in Clubhouse, hop in here, because we're going to start bringing people to the stage, and we want everybody to really enjoy the experience. And and if we're on YouTube, you won't be YouTube. LinkedIn and Facebook won't be able to hear the folks on Clubhouse. So we're going to go ahead, and until we get that set up, when we get technically savvy enough, we'll find a way to make it all happen at once. But right now, we get to hear the Clubhouse room through our headphones, and we get to be here live on uh, visually on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So I'm going to put in the link right here, so you guys can go to the link, mindsetovermess.com. You can sign up for this masterclass, and you can begin to overcome the emotional eating for good. Overcome that mess, that mindset over mess. Let's release the mess. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Lauren while I put the link in, and we're going to close out here on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon.
Absolutely. Everyone here on Clubhouse, I mean, on YouTube, Facebook, thank you so much.
Lauren, you're
And
still
I
on mute.
enjoy speaking with you all there.
Okay. See you guys soon. We'll be back here uh Not next week, because next week is the master class on the 27th. So we'll be back here the following